According to the FTC, scammers stole an estimated $12.5 billion from consumers last year. The American Bankers Association has launched a campaign designed to help keep you and your money more secure. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. With us from the American Bankers Association is Paul Benda, Executive VP for Risk, Fraud, and Cybersecurity. Hi, Paul.
Hey, Fred. Thanks for having me.
A pleasure to meet you. Now, let's start with a bit of an overview of the problem from the association's perspective.
Sure. What we're seeing is criminals are out there trying to con people out of their money. So they're impersonating your bank, they're impersonating the government, they're impersonating a retailer. They're using a spoof number on the caller ID to make it look like it might be your bank calling you. They might send a fake fraud alert or did you make this purchase alert, trying to get you to engage with them. And so they're impersonating these trusted entities to try and get you to give up personal information about things, whether it's a one-time use passcode, whether it's their credit card or debit card credentials. And the challenging thing we see out there is a lot of times they have personal information about you. They might know your name when they call you up. They might know the last four of your social. You know, the first four numbers on your credit card are common. And so they pretend they've got these details about you when they actually aren't the person you think you're talking to.
Are there some scams that are fairly new and becoming common, maybe using AI?
Well, you know, we used to tell people, look for misspellings, look for bad grammar in emails. The bad guys use AI just like you to write better. So now we're starting to see really well-written emails that are coming out. We're starting to see them integrate personal details. So they're doing this thing called spear phishing. And so they've gotten a lot better at leveraging technology to make their attacks against consumers a lot more believable.
Are there some specific red flags that we can look for here?
Yeah, I think what you want to look for is if anyone reaches out to you out of the blue and asks for personal details, that's a big red flag. If someone reaches out to you asking for a one-time passcode, asks you to confirm information, if you didn't initiate that conversation, you've got no idea who you're talking to. If they want you to act quickly and with a sense of urgency, you need to make this payment or you might lose your license with these toll text scams we see, that's a red flag. And if they want you to keep a secret, it's a scam. Because they want to pretend like your bank's under investigation or you're working for the government. We know they can have these elaborate scams in place. And if they ask you to keep a secret, that's a scam.
You know, a lot of us maybe inadvertently sign up for things, whether it's insurance or whatever. So these aggregators or whatever, and then you get flooded with calls and emails, and
that's exactly
what's
right.
real and what isn't, I suppose.
That's exactly right. And people forget, you know, these people can buy your information online, so they know a lot of details about you. So we've created a website called banksneveraskthat.com. Just like a bank's not going to ask you whether you wear boxers or briefs, we're not going to ask you whether you believe in aliens. We're not going to reach out to you out of the blue and ask for that one-time passcode. So I highly recommend folks check that out. We've got some funny videos. We've got a quiz where you can test your scam knowledge and hopefully help protect yourself against these criminals.
Are there some things that a bank would never ask a customer? I love the little logo in back of you.
Yeah, thanks. Like we said, you know, it really is important not to give your details out when someone calls you because you can't trust that caller ID. It might say the name of your bank on there, but it may not be your bank. And so your bank's not going to call you, out of the blue and ask for that one-time passcode. We know that they're going to ask for that because that way they can load your debit card into a mobile wallet. That way they can gain access to your bank account. We're not going to ask you to confirm personal details unless you've reached out to your bank. So only talk to those folks who you know you're talking to because you've initiated that call.
What about our things like our personal checks? Is there a way to keep them more secure? I mean, when you hand one to somebody, they've got that.
Well, you know, it's one thing. Would you, Fred, would you ever give anyone a piece of paper with your name, your address on it, your bank account number, and your bank routing number, just a stranger out of the blue? You'd probably never do that, right? And that's what you do when you write a check. So you got to make sure you do everything you can to control that and keep it secure. If you do choose to write checks, we highly recommend that you use a gel pen. Recommend you track that check. Make sure you're watching your bank account statement as soon as you know when that gets deposited. Make sure it's deposited for the right amount. If your bank gives you images of that check after deposit, make sure the right people sign that check. Look at the back of the check to see it was endorsed by the right person. And if you have to mail it, don't mail it at the end of your driveway and put that steal me flag up on your mailbox. Criminals drive around looking for that and take that mail out of your mailbox. So go to the post office, mail that check.
So things like our debit cards are sounds like they're more secure, the tap to pay, etc.
Absolutely. If you have to make a payment, we highly recommend you use bill pay on your bank account. That way you save yourself a stamp. You don't have to worry about the check. A lot of those get converted to electronic payments, which are much more secure. So yes, definitely use that type, any electronic payment method that's available to you. There's a lot more security around those, and there's a lot more controls in place.
Finally, what should we do if we think that we've become a victim?
So the first thing, if you think you sent money to the wrong person or you see a check amount doesn't match, call your bank immediately. There might be ways to stop the payment. There might be ways to get that money back. The other thing is to call the FBI. There's the Internet Crime Complaint Center, ic3.gov. File a complaint there. And lastly, we always recommend, if you can, get a police report, because that way you've got a record of it. If you have to file an insurance claim or there's any other investigations, you've got at least that police report record that the consumer can use.
And for more info, where can we go?
We'd love you to check out our banksneverasked.com. Check out some of the funny videos that we got there. Test your scam knowledge with our quiz. And if you're still writing checks, check out practicesafechecks.com. And everything you can to try and keep those checks safe.
Paul Benda, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thank you so much, Fred. Appreciate it.